There are over 5 million people living in the small towns, villages, and rural areas of the Amazon basin. Most of them live in poverty, where there is poor education, poor nutrition, and no clean water. Many of those in the rural villages live without electricity or a telephone. But more importantly, most of those people, more than 90%, do not know Jesus as their Lord and Savior. The question is, how do you get to where they are? There are no highways in the jungle, and going by boat on the rivers can take days to reach some people.
North looking good. Controls are free.
Back in 1985, I had a job I loved. I was an Army captain, attack helicopter pilot, but the Lord called me away from that job to serve Him. After seminary and serving in a church, Cindy and I accepted a call to missions with the IMB. My first job was as a church planter and pilot. I was able to use the skills God had given me as an Army aviator to fly jungle aviation here in the Amazon area.
Missionary pilot Andy Kennedy had an idea. He wanted to use an airplane that would save on time and costs. A trip into the Amazon jungle that normally would take 2 days on a boat would now only take 2 hours by plane. He, along with 20 volunteers, took 8 months to build a new airplane, one that would use fuel better and cost less to fly. What started as a kit of parts, pieces, and wires became a special plane for taking missionaries, volunteers, and supplies to remote places of the Amazon jungle. Flying an airplane is expensive, costing close to $12 per gallon. But Andy and his team are working on a new process that converts sugarcane to fuel, which only costs $3.50 per gallon. That process gives the project the nickname Sweet Flight. Andy doesn't do this work alone. With the use of the airplane, he and others can travel into the interior more often, which multiplies the amount of work they can do. He works closely with his Baptist partners, like Pastor Custodio, to share the gospel, to train new pastors and lay leaders, and to start more new churches throughout the region.
Pastor Custodio is also a church planter and has a vision for reaching the lost and for doing ministry among people that have need. And with Pastor Custodio, in the last few years, we've helped him plant at least 3 new works, and we have many more projects set up for the future.
If God permits it to happen, in the next 10 to 15 years, we will start 50 churches. And so the participation and partnership with you and the airplane all help to expand the work.
It's a joy to arrive somewhere where there's a need and to be able to meet that need. Whether we bring in doctors for people that have never seen a doctor in their life, where their children are sick and they don't have any hope of having any help, or we bring in dentists to help someone who's had a toothache for a year and has had no solution for that, or whether we go with the gospel, most of all, and we see hearts and lives changed and lives transformed in these places that we can go, that above all else has just given me the greatest joy.
Andy knows that God has power over all things, and that it's God who is helping him minister to people in the hard-to-reach places of the Amazon basin.